G'day everyone, Goober here with another Torchlight Infinite Sandlord season video. I have been trying out a few different farming strategies over the last day or so. I saw Marcus's cube strategy, which looked quite good, but I don't have the I don't have the legendary cube pet. So it didn't really work that well for me. However, this this strategy I have been having, I don't know if it's going to make a ton of FE, but it has had enough variety in the monsters that can spawn and the synergies that can happen within it, which made it interesting for me to run and more fun. So I was more likely to farm this strategy for longer just because of, well, I made it and, you know, I find it somewhat interesting. It doesn't really have any mechanics that will slow you down in a map, and I'll go through kind of the thinking that I had behind this. It does use compasses, but they are very cheap compasses, and it's all around bosses and that sort of thing. So let's start off with Aeterna. Aeterna compasses are currently going for 1.6 each, and that is for a guaranteed blade of eternal obsession, which is really quite reasonable because they're guaranteed to drop a reverberation, and the eternal reverberations are going for 2 FE, so you pretty much get at least one eternal every single map, so that pays for itself, and it also triggers some other things in this strategy. So up the top here we have the chance to replicate the Aeterna reverberations that drop, and in Netherrealm stages, Kin of Aeterna, which is these guys here, they have a chance of dropping a Weeping Candle tier, and they sell for about 0.6 each. So you get, 50 of those per session. It's just an extra 25 FE or so, which is quite reasonable. Over here we have the pages, and then up here we have the chance for it to be upgraded into the Eternals, which is fantastic. And then another point down here is for the Queen's Wick to drop. They just have a 3% chance to drop one. They're about 20 flame elementium each as well, which is absolutely fantastic. We are using a compass, so we don't need to get any of these points here. Onto the next part of it, we have the chance for Netherrealm Resonance to be dropped on boss kill, which is fantastic. And then I had some extra points, so I just put them in magic monsters and rare monsters. These are the optional points which I would, take out if you are deficient void points, rather than anything else in the strap. So in here, this one you don't need the compass. However, the frozen compass is 0.5 each, and it adds a died monster to the map. And this just means that 2 sets of snow paper fragments drop from every boss, and you'll also have the extra monster from the compass spawning in for another set of snow paper fragments. I do plan on running a lot more canvas, so I won't sell those. I'll end up using those, but they are nice to have as well. Onto beacons. The Lava Sea beacons are the most expensive of the lot. So I have all the chance going up there to get the Lava Sea beacons. Across to the side here we have bosses have a 3% chance to drop a beacon, as well as Netherrealm Resonance dropped by bosses have a 0.3% chance to become beacons. Now on the commodities page, that's why I grabbed the chance for Netherrealm Resonance to drop, as well as sustain. Hopefully I can get some extra beacons from that, and it's not too much of an investment to go down that path. Finally, we have our God of War. This is just to get us through the map as fast as possible. We are boom moto, so we have a minus 30% movement speed. If you're a zoomy character, you may not need this, but this is just quality of life for pretty much every single class. Sorry, kids kept me up all night because they got the flu. And a bit of duration to ensure it's up for the entire time. I will be doing 8-1s, and I don't really die in 8-1s at all. So I have the -4 attempts for 40% drop quant and 5% drop quant from having 40 cards in the deck. I don't think we get 50 cards in the deck, so I won't even bother mentioning that. I do want the star shards to drop, and that is why I am running Steel Forge. Steel Forge in 8s can drop the Warden's Breastpin. I have failed to corrode 7 of these so far, which is really horrible, considering you can buy a corroded one for 1300, but I'm so far in the hole, I kind of want to hit it myself now. So, I will be saving up the star shards for that. They probably won't be part of this test, as I doubt I'll save up 80 in that time anyway. So anyway, as we go through, I will be keeping track of everything I'm doing using the TLI tracker.gg website. We will be adding a stopwatch to this as well, so you can keep your timer on here easily as you go along. We have been updating the prices every single day, with the last update about 10 hours ago, so it's still relatively up to date, which is quite nice. And yeah, so this is everything that I expect to drop during this test. And yeah, let's do the first map, and you can see how it goes. So I'll just go with, there's no quant, so I'll just go with this one. I do use 3 upgrades there. It's just 7 Netherrealm Resonance, and make sure you're using all 3 of the compasses, as they are relatively cheap. It's roughly 2.5 flame elementium for a set of compasses, which is really quite reasonable when you're paying 2 FE for the map as well. My class is Charge Moto, and I have changed to centralized loading because you get a lot of dashes. That's pretty cool to get around. So 5 FE already, that pays for the map, which is quite nice. Here we have the, no, it's on the other side of the wall. Died monster. Dies instantly, gave me 15 snow paper fragments, so that's quite nice. You also get a lot of gold doing this strategy, which is fantastic. And it doesn't take too long to do the aviation. I have been a bit slack on the aviation lately, however... Why? Why did I dash up there and just have a bath in the blades? That makes absolutely no sense at all. I do have 1 free death per map. If I die again, then this map is brick. However, I've already made the map cost back plus more, so it's not that big of a deal if I die again. It's just really annoying. Plus I've got cube in here unexpectedly, so a bit more profit that I can have. There's the kins. They dropped a tier but not a wick, which is a shame. Get up here, pop Dark Surge, do the cube and leave. I was watching Shady Broker today and he got 18 Desire Core records from that, which is insane. And I can't even get basic stuff. Anyway, I'll see you after about an hour. I do have 54 beacons, so we'll see how many we get through. For some reason, I'm getting a lot of Proof of the Braves. I've noticed about 5 in the last 3 maps. It's pretty funny. What? I mean, I'll take it. I don't know what triggered that, but 51 lost secrets, 32 tomorrow directions, 100-fold windfalls. Yeah, it was just one chest that spawned into a bunch of chests. Maybe next time I see that, I will equip Kong, because oh, that was a lot of stuff. I have no idea why, but I'll take it. Oh, I'm gonna die to that, aren't I? I normally do. I normally die to that. Any more chests? Maybe up here? I'm so slow with that God of War. I like centralized loading, but it doesn't blink over walls. Guess because it's a dash. Anywho. Got a secret realm, which is just the bosses that spawn over and over again, so guess we'll quickly do this and see what happens. Hopefully I don't die and lose all that sweet XP that I've been getting. Oh, that's it. Okay. Whatever. This should be pretty interesting. The card that I got is bosses drop 1 to 2 flame elementium. So that just means I should get a whole bunch of free FL. Nice. Coming up towards the end of as well. So as long as I don't die twice, I'll be fine. Hopefully this gives me a loss. There we go. So you get a fair bit of gold doing this as well. I've almost done an hour and I just ticked over 50,000 gold. There's the boss back here. Maybe. Nope. Just wasted my time. 4 minutes left. See you in a sec. Righty, this will be the last map. I've got 1.5 minutes left. So pretty decent loot. I got 1 trillion reverberations and stuff, so those compasses definitely paid for themselves easily. And I did want to do another hour, but I am absolutely bored. So I'll do this, I'll post it, I'll tally it up of course, using the Fandangle, the TLI tracker website. Fuck. Every time that gets me. Every fucking time. And it just goes in a straight line, makes no sense. My brain's just like, ooh. You want to jump in there, don't you? So anyway, that is the test complete. I'll do the tally and I'll see you in a sec. Alrighty, so having a look at what dropped, we had 319 raw FE drop on the ground, which is quite nice. Netherrealm Resonance, we started with 217, ended up with about 500, so nice double up there. Precious Embers, Matchless Embers, pretty standard. We did have 920 Snowpaper Fragments drop, which is quite nice. It would have been even better if they were still 0.15, but maybe if I do a canvas video, they could go up in price. Queenswick, we normally get more, but we only got 1 drop. Fleetings and Eternals, so we got 130 keys all up with those, which is quite nice. So about 100 FE there, and the compass that used those was the familial Aeterna, so we used 67 FE there, so about 30 FE profit, plus all the other stuff that the bosses drop as well, which are the beacons and stuff like that. So beacons, we used 41 beacons that I know of, probably 42 considering the familial and the frozen compasses used 42 each. And we had, what's that, 14, 23, 30 additional, or 35 additional compasses drop as well. So quite a decent selection. We got a bunch of Tomorrow's Directions and Lost Secrets drop as well, and Maud's Tricks and that sort of thing. So all up, we did the chill farm for about an hour. I probably wouldn't do it at that speed all day. I'd probably drop that back down to about 600 or 700 FE an hour. But for this test, in that hour that I just did, I'm extremely tired as well. So maybe I would do it at this speed if I wasn't, you know, about to fall asleep. But anyway, 900-ish flame elementium an hour doing this strategy. Everything that drops is high liquidity, so it will sell almost instantly. And it got about 52,000 gold in the hour, which will keep my factories going for a day and 7 hours apparently. So pretty good. Let's go and collect some stuff from the Oasis before I send off one last one for the night. All I've been doing with the Oasis is like the little ones that you send out. These, given this is a glider, but the airships, when you send them out, thank you. Well, it's all garbage, but thank you anyway. Everything was filtered. So yeah, if you just do an order, often you don't really get much back for it. So what I've found is if you just save up your currencies, and then you look for the ones that are 6s, Utopia is also pretty decent, I guess. As long as it has this selection here, these orders get kind of insane. So this order here, let's go with this one because it's all the chance to double the reward. They want 2 million of this thing, so I can load all, and that's going to be 90,000 out of 8 million. So all I do is I send everything that I've got. Who cares? Sometimes that comes back and it'll have 200 flame elementium, a sandalwood, it'll have like 500 precious embers and that sort of stuff, and you make about 600 FE from one trip. And instead of sending out a whole bunch of little trips and having to pay 4 lots of wages and stuff, I find that you get pretty much the same, if not more rewards, just sending all of your resources out in one big trip, paying 1 lot of wages instead of 4, and banking it all on one. So it seems like the more you put in, the more rewards you get. I don't know if there's a sweet spot somewhere, but I've found when I've dumped it all in there, it's come back with 400 to 600 flame elementium worth of stuff. So I don't see the point of doing the little ones unless it is to level up the zones. So every time you fill an order, so this order they want 37,000 of the flame ingots. I've got none left because I just got rid of them all. That will fill up the level from 4 to 4.5, and then a second one that'll bring it up to 5, and then you'll have another ridiculously expensive, massive order like this one that if I produced that, I produce about 4,000 an hour. 2 million is 21.15 days of production. That's insane. So that order is pretty much never getting filled this season. Unless it gets fixed. But anyway, that's what I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, sign up for the community event and maybe you'll win 1,000 Jagged Primos. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.